I'm hardworking, I'm sincere, I'm dedicated. I really want to work for your company. I will do my best. It's cliche beyond the point. Team right up there, reimagining work, agility, adaptability, and resilience. I think we couldn't have thought of any better theme than discussing this today. I actually call myself a generation that's the sandwich generation. We're a generation where our parents tell us what to do and our children tell us what to do. We're actually a generation, I see a lot of people laughing out there saying it resonates, but we're a generation where our parents tell us what to do. We're also a generation where our children tell us what to do. And living in a space where we are forced to reimagine, I challenged myself this morning and I said, if I'm going to think of NICMAR, and if I'm going to think of reimagining work, can I pick up each alphabet in NICMAR and leave you with 6 bites? 6 small bites. Let's start with N. I think N stands for navigating change. Never before have we seen the speed of change be the way it is today. You saw Gemini, you saw ChatGPT, you saw DeepSeek, and then you see what art? Ghibli art. It is incredible. I sleep last night thinking everything is fine, and then Trump decides to do something tomorrow morning when I get up. I get up this morning and thinking it's a good day at work, I'll go to NICMAR. By the time I'm off and I check my phone again, there is controversy happening on some stand-up comedian and some politician making some noise. It is incredible the speed of change that we are seeing around us, my dear friends, is not even funny. It is not even funny because the degrees that you're going to get as students that you pass out will only be a passport. The degrees that you're going to get by the time you pass out are only going to be a passport. The question before you is, how many visa stamps do you have on your passport? Every day, are you doing something different? Are you learning something new? And are you getting exposed to something that you did not know yesterday? One part of the world could be saying it doesn't matter, things come and go. Another part of the world may say, I'm going to ace this game. And you need to answer this question. Are you going to be just an observer? Are you going to be a commentator? Or are you going to be the player on the ground? The choice is yours, and you may not want to be a player for every game. But whichever field you choose to be a player in, no point being a coach, no point being a commentator, and no point being a spectator. You got to roll up your sleeves and get on the 22 yards and play the game to the best of your ability, because if you don't know how to navigate change, change will navigate you. And when change navigates you, you'll be forced to be a spectator. And therefore the choice is yours. N-I. I, to my mind, stands for intellectual curiosity. And the best example and short story that I can share with you is my nani, my mom's mother, who is in her late 80s. Once a week, I get a call from her at a time that suits her, and I have no choice but to pick up that call. Because the part in me gets very scared. I hope she's okay. But she is in better health than I am. Trust me, I have lower back pain and she is double my weight, and she is living the life that she really wants to live. She's living the life where she sees a caricature and she calls me and says, Sahil, what's this caricature? And I say, it's not caricature, it's Ghibli art. And she says, tell me how to do it. I have my photograph, I need this right now as my WhatsApp DP. And I'm like, seriously? An 88-year-old is so curious about every single thing that's happening. She has the choice to say, hey, I have a bad headache, my BP is high, I don't feel like eating, I don't want to live anymore. She has that choice. But she also has that choice of saying, I want to be on Facebook. She came on Facebook, I moved to Insta, she realized what Insta is, she's come on Insta. I don't know where to go. Thankfully I didn't get to Snapchat, otherwise she would come there as well. I'm very, very happy she doesn't know about Tinder yet. On a lighter note. But come to think of it, the intellectual curiosity is phenomenal. That's the generation where, when I was young, people would go out, have chai, sit at the tapri, play a game of carom in the local community. But this same generation today has progressed. The senior citizens, the super senior citizens have progressed to smartphones. They are the generation who have time on hand. And they are the generation who's actually putting that time to good use and learning technology faster than you and I can. Now you may say, Sahil, that's an exception. I can give you 100 such examples of people who are actually learning technology faster than you and I are. Because they pick it up and then they have all the time at their disposal, they have the curiosity to build a skill, and you and I have excuses. Because we have full day classes, we have assignments to do, we have jobs to fulfill, we have bosses to make happy, and we have EMIs to pay. They're at a different life stage, and therefore intellectual curiosity is going to be a skill that is going to differentiate you from everyone else around. NIC. C, to my mind, my dear friends, stands for courage. It is extremely easy for each one of you in this room to be an echo. Someone says something, you echo it. Yes, 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 yes. Amazing, 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 amazing. But I invite each one of you to have the courage not to be an echo, but to be a voice. With all due respect, when CJK stands here, each one of us listen attentively. We listen with so much of zest is because he's a thought leader in his field. He's someone who over the years, over the decades, I have personally seen and I have benefited as an individual who has really gone up the ranks. And that, to my mind, is what I call as culture. When you look at an organization as prestigious as his, when you talk of Mr. A.M. Nayak, brands are not built overnight. We're living in a world where everything is instant. We're living in a world where you have deliveries in 10 minutes. We're living in a world where food gets cooked in 2 minutes. But my dear friends, careers are not built overnight. Careers are like that amazing dumb cooked biryani that is done overnight. Careers are built with sweat and toil. Gone are the days when each one of us used to plan for a party. We used to think of how many guests, kitna khana banana hai, kitni baraf chahiye, kitne daru ke liye. Today, you may not have planned it well. You may run out of ice, get onto the app, and in 8 minutes, you have enough ice to last the alcohol. The question is, if you're not planning well enough for a simple party, are you planning well enough for your life? And do you have the courage, the NICMAR, the C in NICMAR, do you have the courage to really take what it takes to be who you want to be? Or are you just being an echo? Very quickly, I'm conscious of time and I want to move ahead. NICM. Mastering, it's on the screen, agility, adaptability. It's not a fancy word, my dear friends. Agility, adaptability, let's be agile. I can put you to test and put myself to test. Everybody who says I'm agile, I'm adaptable, you realize in the next 5 minutes, you're somewhere in between. You're not right there. And the reason we're not right up there is because we find it very difficult. We all inherently resist change. Happens. बड़े-बड़े शहरों में छोटी-छोटी बातें. We all resist change because we find it very, very comfortable to continue with status quo. And therefore, the best art to master adaptability and agility is get yourself outside your comfort zone. You all come to this college from a certain route, change that route tomorrow. Take a different route. As simple as that. Every night you watch Insta, scroll Insta before going to sleep, read a book tomorrow for 15 minutes and try and go to sleep. You get up in the morning from the left side of the bed, jump over whoever's on the right side and get up from the right side of the bed. I love the way two of them are looking at each other and saying, is that possible? You get the message. The point I'm trying to say is, if you don't practice it, these are just fancy words in the Oxford Dictionary. NICMAR, A for authenticity. It's so ironical that most business schools, engineering schools in the country have a problem today for placements. I'm so happy that you've had great success as an institute, and not a challenge with that is because you're producing great talent. But the biggest problem is when recruiters get on campus and they ask you, why do you want to join this organization or what do you bring to the table? Every single answer, without exception, I'm hardworking, I'm sincere, I'm dedicated, I really want to work for your company, I will do my best. It's cliche beyond the point. And it makes me wonder, my dear friends, it actually makes me wonder. I sit back and I feel sorry. I feel sorry because these lines on these hands, can everybody look at the hands please? Everybody look at your own hands. Left doesn't match right. And it doesn't match the person sitting next to you. Yet, the answers are the same. Each one of us have brains, have minds, but we also have the ability to think differently. But yet, we find it very difficult to be our authentic selves. I invite you to invite authenticity into your life. It will actually feel like demasking yourself. It will feel like you can breathe, and it will feel like you've come alive. Practice it once, and you can thank me later. The R in NICMAR for me stands for resilience. It's so sad that while some part of it is real, for the generations that we are, whether it's millennials, Gen Zs, or even Gen Alpha, we use words like depression. We use words like mental health. We use words like, I am feeling off. We use words like, I have anxiety, I have a panic attack. So loosely that it's not even funny. Go back and spend time with your parents, spend time with your grandparents, spend time with your great-grandparents if they're around. And they will tell you stories of resilience. They will tell you stories of failure. they will tell you stories of living in joint families. And like they typically call it, the bhasad. And they will tell you how resilience was a skill that was built in-house and not outsourced to therapists.